For over 10 years I've been working in natural foods, and my passion is working with food, but also developing sort of a more universal understanding of nutrition and wholesome foods and cooking. And I've worked in many natural food restaurants. I want to say Open Arms found me more than I found Open Arms, which I think happens to a lot of people. It's amazing to me how many people are connected with Open Arms unsuspectingly. Our mission is to nourish people's bodies and souls, and I think that our presence in Phillips from a day-to-day perspective has been really exciting. You see neighbors walking by sort of poking their heads in like, oh, what's going on here? You have kids coming in asking, are we hiring? You know, are the jobs available? It's a positive energy, and I think this neighborhood for a long time in Minneapolis has been disregarded in a way that has allowed them to not be able to grow and nourish themselves as fully as they otherwise could. I think that there are plans to have community gardens attached to Open Arms somehow, sort of led by Open Arms in the way of the volunteer power that we possess, that could also help to enrich the neighborhood. And beyond our community, I think local is becoming very important. There's sort of been a shift from globalization into, you know, a focus of how do we source things that are closer to us? How do we use less oil that way? How do we support our own community and enrich ourselves? I would say that in the last couple of years, if I were to drop the acronym CSA, which is Community Supported Agriculture, you know, twice as many, if not 4 times as many people would be familiar with that, and that's really exciting for people to be a part of the system, to be able to buy with their own values. And we are very connected with several farms, and we have our own CSA shares, so that we're a hub for pickups for CSAs. And so being in the Phillips neighborhood now, I'm excited about people being able to come and pick up their bushels of produce that maybe ordinarily hadn't thought about being as closely connected to a local farmer. And we have an incredible force behind Open Arms, staff-wise, corporation-wise, volunteer-wise. So really all it takes is people to organize and say, hey, we're going to make this happen now instead of a year from now. I'd like to see us partner with some of the local farm programs that teach kids about food. That would be a way to get kids more involved in Open Arms. We don't have, right now, food preparation going on with kids just because of kitchen logistics. But we do have 2 acres that were donated to us. It's a farm out in Belle Plaine. And next year we'll be growing produce. So as much organic produce as we can sort of, you know, figure out on that 2 acres, it's a new component for Open Arms. And that's really exciting. I sort of imagine that the volunteers that come into the kitchen and help me every day make these meals, many of them would, you know, take once a week and go out to this farm and think about that connection and think about, you know, the 45-minute drive instead of, you know, the produce coming from California. And maybe we can get more into preserving foods from the summertime, canning, freezing. We definitely have capacity for that. Like myself and my coworkers, and you know, all of our Open Arms world, our volunteers, there's thousands of them, they really believe in their hearts that success doesn't have to be that number at the end of the day. It's much more than that. It's the number of people that you've helped. It's what you've learned. It's what direction are we growing in. It's how we nourish each other.